Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. Before we read Shrimad Bhagavatam, let's invoke the blessing of the Lord. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namah Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhayeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Ishvara Parama Krishnaha Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govindaha Sarvakaran Karanam. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Let me share my screen. So we have been reading from first canto, fourth chapter. Yesterday we finished till 23rd and today is 24th verse. श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, शिला व्यासदेव की जय. ताएव वेद दुर्मेधय धार्यन्ते पुरुषयथः एवं चकर भगवान् व्यासाकृपन वत्सलः. Say that eva certainly Veda, the book of knowledge, Durmedhai by the less intellectual, Dharyante can assimilate, Purushai by the man, Yatha as much as, Evam thus, Chakara edited, Bhagavan the powerful, Vyasa the great sage Vyasa, Kripana Vatsala very kind to the ignorant mass. Translation. Thus the great sage Vyasadeva, who is very kind to the ignorant masses, edited the Vedas so they might be assimilated by the less intellectual man. Purport. Veda is one, and the reasons for its division in many parts are explained herewith. The seed of all knowledge, or the Veda, is not a subject matter which can easily be understood by any ordinary man. There is a stricture that no one should try to learn the Vedas who is not a qualified Brahmana. This stricture has been wrongly interpreted in so many ways. A class of men who claim Brahminical qualification simply by their birthright in the family of a Brahmana claim that the study of Vedas is a monopoly of the Brahmana caste only. Another section of people take this as an injustice to members of other castes who do not happen to take birth in Brahmana family, but both of them are misguided. The Vedas are subjects which had to be explained even to Brahmaji by the Supreme Lord. Therefore, the subject matter is understood by persons with exceptional qualities of goodness. Persons who are in modes of passion and ignorance are unable to understand the subject matter of the Vedas. The ultimate goal of Vedic knowledge is Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead. This personality is very rarely understood by those who are in the modes of passion and ignorance. In the Satyuga, everyone was situated in the mode of goodness. Gradually, the mode of goodness declined during the Treta and Dwapar Yugas, and the general mass of people became corrupt. In the present age, the mode of goodness is almost nil. And so, for the general mass of people, the kind-hearted, powerful sage Srila Vyasadeva divided the Vedas in various ways so that they may be practically followed by less intelligent persons in the modes of passion and ignorance. It is explained in the next shloka as follows. Next, 25th. स्त्री शूद्र द्विज बन्धूनां त्रैनाश्रुति गोचरः कर्म श्रेयसि मूढानां श्रेय एवं भवेद्यः इति भारतम् आख्यानां कृपया मुनिना कृतम्. Stree, the woman class. Shudra, the laboring class. Dvija Bandhuna, of friends of the twice born. Trai, the three sacrificial Vedas. Na Shruti Gochara is not allowed to be heard. Karma Shreyasi, in the successful execution of ritual duties. Mudanam, of the less intelligent. Shreya, the supreme benefit. Evam, thus, Bhavet, achieved. Iha, by this. Iti, thus thinking. Bharatam, the great Mahabharata. Akhyanam, historical facts. Kripaya, out of great mercy. Munina, by the Muni. Kritam, is completed. Translation. Out of compassion, the great sage thought it wise that this would enable man to achieve the ultimate goal of life. Thus, he compiled a great historical narration called the Mahabharata for women, laborers, and friends of the twice born. Purport. The friends of twice born families are those who are born in the families of Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas, or spiritually cultured families, but who themselves are not equal to their forefathers. Such descendants are not recognized as such for want of purificatory achievements. The purificatory activities begin even before the birth of a child, and the seed giving reformatory process is called Garbhadhana Samskar. One who has not undergone such Garbhadhana Samskara or spiritual family planning is not accepted as being of an actual twice born family. The Garbhadhana Samskara is followed by other purificatory process, out of which the sacred thread ceremony is one. This is performed at the time of spiritual initiation. After this particular samskara, one is rightly called twice born. One birth is calculated during the seed giving samskara, and the second birth is calculated at the time of spiritual initiation. One who has been able to undergo such important samskaras can be called a bona fide twice born. If the father and mother do not undertake the process of spiritual family planning and simply beget children out of passion only, their children are called Dijabandhus. These Dijabandhus are certainly not as intelligent as the children of the regular twice born families. The Dijabandhus are classified with the Shudras and women class, who are by nature less intelligent. The Shudras and women class do not have to undergo any samskara save and accept the ceremony of marriage. The less intelligent classes of men, namely women, Shudras, unqualified sons of higher caste, are devoid of necessary qualification to understand the purpose of the transcendental Vedas. For them, the Mahabharata was prepared. The purpose of Mahabharata is to administer the purpose of the Vedas. Therefore, within this Mahabharata, the summary of Bhagavad Gita is placed. The less intelligent are more interested in stories than in philosophy. Therefore, philosophy of Vedas in the form of Bhagavad Gita is spoken by Lord Shri Krishna. Vyasadeva and Lord Krishna are both on transcendental plane. Therefore, they collaborated in doing good to the fallen souls of this age. The Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all Vedic knowledge. It is the first book of spiritual values as the Upanishads are. The Vedanta philosophy is the subject matter for study by the spiritual graduates. Only the postgraduate spiritual student can enter into spiritual or devotional service of the Lord. It is great science, and great professor is the Lord Himself in the form of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And persons who are empowered by Him can initiate others in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Next, 26. एवं प्रवर्तयतस्य सदा भूतानां श्रेयसी द्विजः सर्वात्मा केनापि यदा नातुष्याद् धर्ध्यं ततः. Evam, thus, pravartasya, one who is engaged in, sada, always, bhutana, of the living beings, shreyasi, in the ultimate good, dvijaha, or twice born, sarvatma kenapi, by all the means, yada, when, na, not, atushyat, become satisfied, hridayam, mind, tataha, at that time. O twice born Brahmanas, still his mind was not satisfied. Although he engaged himself in working for the total welfare of all the people. Purport. Srila Vyasadeva was not satisfied with himself. Although he had prepared literatures of Vedic value for the all-around welfare of the general mass of people, it was expected that he would be satisfied by such activities, but ultimately he was not satisfied. Next, 27. Nati prasidad dhridyadhya sarasvatyastate suchaha vitarkayan viviktastha idam kovacha dharmavid na not ati prasidat, very much satisfied, hridaya, at heart, sarasvatya, of the river Saraswati, tate, on the bank of, suchav, being purified, vitarkayan, having considered, vivikta stha, situated in lonely place, idamcha, also this, uvacha, said, dharmavit, one who knows what religion is. Translation. Thus the sage, being dissatisfied at heart, at once began to reflect, because he knew the essence of religion, and he said within himself, the sage began to search out the cause of not being satisfied at heart. Perfection is never attained until one is satisfied at heart. This satisfaction of heart has to be searched out beyond matter. Next, 28 and 29. Dhrita vratena hi maya chandamsi guravo अग्नयः मानिता निर्वयालिकेन गृहीतं चानुशसनं भारता व्यापदेशेन हे अमान्य अर्थश्च प्रदर्शितः दृश्यते यत्र धर्मादि स्त्री शूद्रादिभिरपि युतः धृतव्रतेन under a strict disciplinary vow. He certainly, Maya by me, Chandamsi, the Vedic hymns, Guru Guravaha, the spiritual master, Agneyaha, the sacrificial fire, Manitaha, properly worshipped, Nirvyali Kena, without pretense, Grihitam Cha, also accepted, Anushashanam, traditional discipline, Bharata, the Mahabharata, Vyapa Sena, by compilation of, he certainly, Amanaya Artha, import of disciplic succession, Cha and Pradarshitaha, properly explained, Drishyate, by what is necessary, Yatra, where, Dharmadihi, the path of religion, Stri Sudra Adibhihi api, even by women, Shudras, Yutaha, spoken. I have under strict disciplinary vows, unpretentiously worship the Vedas, the spiritual masters, and the altar of sacrifice. I have also abided by the rulings and have shown the import of disciplic succession through the explanation of Mahabharata, by which even women, Shudras, and others, friends of twice born, can see the path of religion. Purport: no one can understand the import of Vedas without having undergone a strict disciplinary vow and disciplic succession. The Vedas, spiritual masters, and sacrificial fire must be worshipped by the desiring candidate. All these intricacies of Vedic knowledge are systematically presented in the Mahabharata for the understanding of the woman class, the liberal class, and the unqualified members of Brahmana, Kshatriya, or Vaishya families. In this age, Mahabharata is more essential than the original Vedas. Next, 30. तथापि बत मे ध्यायो हे आत्मा चैव आत्मना विभुः असम्पन्ना इव भाति ब्रह्मवर्चस्य सत्तमः तथापि although but defect me mind dhyaya situated in the body he is certainly atma living being cha and iva even atmana myself vibhuhu sufficient asampanna wanting in eva bhati it appears to be brahma varchasya of the vedantist sattamaha the supreme. Translation: I am feeling incomplete, though I myself am fully equipped with everything required by the Vedas. Purport: undoubtedly, Srila Vyasadeva was complete in all details of Vedic achievements. Purification of living beings submerged in the matter is made possible by the prescribed activities in the Vedas. But the ultimate achievement is different. Unless it is attained, the living being, even though fully equipped, cannot be situated in the transcendentally normal stage. Srila Vyasadeva appeared to have lost the clue and therefore felt dissatisfaction. Next, 31st. Kim va bhagavata dharma न प्रायेण निरूपितः प्रिया परमहंसानां ता एव हि अच्युतप्रियः किं वा or Bhagavata Dharma, devotional activities of the living beings. Na, not. Prayena, almost. Nirupitaha, directed. Priyaha, dear. Paramhamsa, Nam, of the perfect beings. Te iva, that also. He, certainly. Achyuta, the infallible. Priyaha, attractive. Translation. This may be because I did not specifically point out the devotional service of the Lord, which is dear both to perfect beings and to infallible Lord. Purport. The dissatisfaction which was being felt by Srila Vyasadeva is expressed herein in his own words. This was felt for the normal condition of the living being in the devotional service of the Lord. Unless one is fixed in the normal condition of service, neither the Lord nor the living being can become fully satisfied. This defect was felt by him when Narad Muni, his spiritual master, reached him. It is described as follows. Next 32. तस्यैवमखिलम् आत्मानं मन्या अमनस्य खिद्यतः कृष्णस्य नारदो अभ्यागात् आश्रमं प्राग उद्धृतं तस्य his evam thus khilam inferior atmanam soul manye amanasya thinking within the mind khidyataha regretting krishnasya of krishna dvapayana vyas narada abhyagat narada came here ashramam the cottage prak before udratam said. Translation. As mentioned before, Narada reached the cottage of Krishna Dwapayan Vyasa on the banks of Saraswati just as Vyasadeva was regretting his defects. Purport. The vacuum felt by Vyasadeva was not due to his lack of knowledge. Bhagavata Dharma is purely devotional service of the Lord, to which the monist has no access. The monist is not counted among the Paramhamsas, the most perfect of the renounced order of life. Srimad Bhagavatam is full of narrations of the transcendental activities of the personality of Godhead. Although Vyasadeva was an empowered divinity, he still felt dissatisfaction because in none of his works were the transcendental activities of the Lord properly explained. The inspiration was infused by Sri Krishna directly in the heart of Vyasadeva, and thus he felt the vacuum as explained above. It is definitely expressed herewith that without the transcendental loving service of the Lord, everything is void. But in the transcendental service of the Lord, everything is tangible without any separate attempt at fruitive work or empiric philosophical speculation. Hare Krishna. So we'll stop here and we continue 33rd verse onwards tomorrow. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Vyasadeva ki jai. So anybody has any question, correction, chastisement, realization before we continue chanting? All right. So if there is no question, We'll stop here. Vancha kalpatarubhesya kripa sindhu bhevja patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Anantakoti Vaishnavind ki jai. So thank you, dear devotees, for listening to me, and please forgive me if I have not recited properly. So we'll stop here and continue chanting.